Well, a very good afternoon, everybody, and happy Thursday. My name is Sandy Elson, and on behalf of the travel professional community and travelprofessionalnews.com, I want to welcome all of you and thank you so much for joining us today. Today's webinar is being hosted by Travel Planners International. TPI is a sales, marketing, and support agency for new and experienced travel professionals. Savvy, entrepreneurial-minded agents and agency owners partner with TPI for their forward-thinking, profit-generating marketing programs, savvy social media support, small business training events and agent community building meetings, and time-saving back-office technologies. Truth be told, they describe themselves as a group of fun, good-looking peeps in Maitland, Florida, who spend their days and nights dreaming and scheming of ways they can make their family of passionate, sleep-deprived rock star agents so happy and profitable that they go to bed at night, usually pretty darn late, yelling, "Nailed it." Our speaker today for TPI is one of my favorites, the wonderful Jenn Lee, Vice President of
Aw.
Sales and Marketing. Celebrating just 3 short years in the travel industry, Jenn Lee isn't shy about her obsession for guiding and leading today's entrepreneurial-minded travel advisor community. Say that 3 times fast, Jen. Entrepreneurial minded. Okay. According to Lee, the travel industry is on the upswing, and this is the moment to remind the world that travel advisors aren't just booking travel and boosting their bank account, they're building a business. Back in her business consulting days, Jen and her clients landed spots on Fox Business, Good Morning America, and Shark Tank, as well as numerous national publications like Success Magazine and Entrepreneur. However, what keeps Lee going isn't gaining accolades or being featured on TV. It's about meeting with passionate, hustling, and driven entrepreneurs in the making who just plain get it. Well, that and her bulletproof coffee. Jen's topic today is Biz of One Shouldn't Mean Lonely, 6 Solutions to Feeling Connected and Confident. Before we get started, a reminder that you are all muted, but we welcome your questions. You can type in your questions in the question area you see on the right-hand panel of your screen. At the end of the webinar, we'll get to as many of these questions as we can. Also, at the end of the webinar, Jen has 2 amazing prizes for 2 lucky prize winners, so stay tuned for that. I'll tell you more about the prizes a little bit later, but as a hint, you're going to want to take notes. So let's get started. Welcome, Jen. So great to have you here again.
Hey, girl. It's always great to be with you guys. And hey, rock stars out there that are listening, whether you're listening to us live or via recording. We do about 6 of these a year, and we only do it with Sandy and the travel professional news community. You guys rock these things. So thank you so much for the opportunity. So when I was thinking about what do I want to talk about to the agents this time around, it occurred to me that so many of you guys are working from home and it can seem quite lonely out there. And that's not a good thing. You know, it's true. It is lonely, and it does matter that you're feeling lonely. Raise your hand if you're one of those that, like, from time to time, you're like, I just need another human interaction. I'm feeling like I'm out here all by myself. And of course, I know, Sandy, they can't actually raise their hands, but maybe they can type in, yes, I feel lonely, in the comments section.
I
But
don't know. I hope they're
it
raising
is
their
lonely
hand.
out there. Being an entrepreneur, I'm sorry?
I said, I hope they're raising their hands.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are. It's a common thing. Back in my business consulting days, it's not just the travel industry. So many entrepreneurs start their businesses or even just manage their businesses from home. And that can actually play with your psyche. As a matter of fact, I looked up a couple of different statistics out there, and sure enough, read what Forbes magazine says. Now, my cursor won't let me read the whole thing, but isolation is one of the biggest challenges faced by business owners and sole traders, with almost 30% of respondents saying that it's either a big problem or something of a problem. And even a study from researchers at the University of North Carolina talk about loneliness can vastly elevate a person's risk of heart disease or cancer, making it as dangerous to your health as a lack of physical activity. So, you know, loneliness is a real thing. And I don't want you to be lonely. Nobody wants you to be lonely. So get out your pens and pencils. I'm going to give you 6 simple things that you can do to kind of get rid of that loneliness and actually help you feel more confident while you're out there running your business, which to me is the biggest part of sales. Is that confidence level has to be at a really high level. Otherwise, it doesn't matter how great the product is that you're selling. If you're not confident in your ability to make it happen, it can impede you. So let's get started. We're going to do this together. So step number 1 is, where do you actually need support? Do you need connection or connections? Where do you need help? And let me tell you the difference between the two. Connection is, do you need to actually, is it you're just lonely, right? Like you need another human being to talk to. You're finding that talking to your cat is not actually helping you with your loneliness. It's just making you more lonely. Are you having this need that you need to feel connected with other people as you work from home? Or do you really just need help with good, smart connections? And the difference with connections are other people, other connections that can help you build your business, leads, folks that can help you. Both are important, but I want you right now to just tell me which one is the one that feels most needed by you. Like which one do you really need help with? Is it connection, human connection, or is it connections, leads, and stuff like that? Be honest, and we're not going to ask you to tell us, but just be honest with yourself. Now, the next set of points or ideas are going to help you with that. So the next thing that I find is really important for connections and connection is to find a new space. By golly, get the heck out of the house if you can. One of the things that a lot of our agents at TPI do is they take advantage of co-op workspaces. And co-op workspaces are spaces designed specifically for entrepreneurs or people who are on the road who do not want to work from their home all the time. It doesn't mean that you have to move in full time. It means you can utilize this space for meetings, for meeting with clients, and there are thousands and thousands of them everywhere. And it's super easy to find a co-op workspace. It's real simple, Sandy. We always say this to our agents, just Google that. And I was going to say an expletive, but I won't. But Google that stuff. So the best way to find a co-op workspace is just put in co-op workspace in Orlando, co-op workspace in Tampa, wherever you live, and start checking those out. Another option is to strategically share a space with another organization or another company that kind of would feed into travel. Some of our agents, one of our top agents actually has a space within a local credit union. It's an extra office that they have, and she maintains that office there. And as the credit union members come in, every so often, she's got a little sign that says, book your travel here. And it's a value add for the credit union members, and obviously a great lead source for her. Others places that you could be thinking about is maybe a financial advisor's office, a lawyer's office, any brick and mortar that's in an area that is popular. One of our agents actually has a little office space. She only pays $300 a month, and it's a room that's part of a strip within her community that has like all arts and crafts. So they always have like art fairs on the weekends. There's painters and sculptors and cute little gift shops and stuff. And it's perfect because those types of people who are going down that street are dreamers, right? They enjoy kind of the cool, new, unique experiences within their artwork. And that's a perfect combination for her. So there are lots of spaces out there, but be strategic. Go in and ask any of these, even a hair salon, heck, if they've got an extra room somewhere, try to utilize that. Maybe the manicurist quit and they've got a manicure room and you can turn it into your little travel agency. So be thinking about strategic shareable spaces. Or if you don't want to actually leave your home, you like working from home, make a date with other travel agents in your area. Find local agents and make sure once a month or once every 2 weeks, you guys are getting together to share best practices or maybe just have a cup of coffee or maybe someone to just kind of vent with. At TPI, we have hundreds of these all across the country. We call them advocate meetings, and they're just really informal. Sometimes suppliers show up and sponsor the lunch or the dinner, but make it a date. Put it on your calendar, even if it's just for one other agent, one other business owner. Put it on your calendar so that you have that there and don't break the promise to yourself to get out of the house. So that's kind of tip number 2, find your space. Another thing that TPI is just doing, and I think this is really kind of cool, and we're just now starting to partner with this company, it's called Remote Year. And remote year is designed for you to be able to keep your job and see the world. And it's kind of like you're an entrepreneur that you go to a different country every month with other entrepreneurs or people who are allowed to work remotely. So people who work for Google and some of the tech companies, or people who have their own like graphic design business or website, or they're bloggers, or in this case, travel agents. Think about it. So you partner with Remote Year, you pay a fee. You're either gone for 4 months or you're gone for 12 months, and you can run your business. So every day through this, they have these co-op workspaces. They take care of all of your housing and your food and all that, and you're working and traveling once a month to a new country with other people who are doing the same thing. So it's not like a big vacation. As a matter of fact, you have to have a job or you have to have a business to actually participate in this. And so we've just partnered with them. And if you're listening to this live, we're just finalizing some of the details. If you're listening to this recorded and it's after October of 2019, chances are we've nailed all the details. But we are working with Remote Year to help our travel agents within our industry, our agency, be able to learn all these different countries and run their business and be around other smart entrepreneurs at the same time. So we're pretty excited about that digital nomad opportunity. So that might be something you'd be interested in. All right. The third thing is you got to start meeting outside your bubble. And I've got 4 different bubbles that you can break out of. The first one is meet outside the industry. So often we get ourselves so, we're only going to industry events. We're only doing things that are within the industry, and that can create a sense of loneliness in itself because you're just hearing the same stuff over and over again in some cases. You're not getting any fresh perspective. When I owned my own business, I used to go around and speak at associations. And if you look in your, go to your local chamber or whatever, they're always looking for people to speak, right? And you could speak about the value of travel in running a business. You could speak about, cool places that families are wanting to go. Or you can just go and show up to these different association meetings or partner with an association. There was one super smart, savvy financial advisor that I had met, and she became kind of a resource for an association called Women in Construction. Believe it or not, there's a whole association geared just towards women that work in the construction industry, whether they own their own plumbing company or they work for a company, anything in construction, and they have special needs. So this financial advisor became friends with the association leader, and even though she wasn't in construction, she was a resource and went to all of their meetings. And how smart is she? Here's 50 women that appreciate that it's another woman that is interested in what they have to do. And I guarantee you, she probably got the majority of her leads and her clients from just being part of that association. So think of things outside of the industry, things that you are interested in or that you might actually have a connection with. Get outside your Facebook friends. Now, we talk about social media all the time. And one of the things that I think we get stuck in sometimes and can make it feel isolating again is that we're just kind of trolling. I know that's a really bad word, but trolling through our Facebook friends, right? Get outside of that. Well, one of our agents, her name is Marsha Kirby, and she's in Montana, and she's a rock star. And she has built her business strictly and 100% on Facebook through joining Facebook groups. Now, she's in Montana. There's not a lot of networking down the street with one another, so she has to network via Facebook. So she joined every community within the state of Montana. They all had their own Facebook group. So it could be like Billings, Montana, Friends of Billings, Montana. She joined every single one of them, got involved with all of their conversations. She wasn't pushing travel by any means, not trying to sell anything, but developing relationships. And invariably what happens is she puts something smart up there or make us a funny comment, and people, and you do this yourself, I know you do, people click and go, who is that Marsha? And they click on it and they see that it's Travel by Marsha, and by golly, that's how she's gotten her business. She has a thriving travel agency business just by getting outside of her Facebook friends and using Facebook for groups. Any questions so far? Sandy, just tell them they can type in questions and I'll pause and answer them for you.
Right, I did mention to our agents you can type in questions, and so far we don't have any.
That's okay. There's feverishly writing is what it is,
Right.
Sandy. They're following our instructions. So meet outside the bubble, which means outside with your community. Now, everyone knows you could go to a farmer's market, you could go to a fair. There's a lot of community events that you can attend, and you should attend for sure, wearing a shirt that's got your logo on it, or even get yourself a table at these things. That's for sure. But another way to do this is to think about the nonprofits that you are passionate about. Now, listen, this has to be very genuine. This isn't about being passionate about a nonprofit because you think you're going to meet some big wig at a company and get all of their corporate business. This is about taking your passion and helping it become profitable for you as well. So I'll give you an example. One of our top agents, his name is Chip Barker, and he and his husband volunteer for the Southeast Guide dogs in the Southern Florida area. And they did that because they're very passionate. They help train new Labradors, new labs when they're puppies, to become guide dogs for veterans who suffer from PTSD, is their main thing. And so because of their volunteerism, though, they get to meet the most amazing, wonderful people. And invariably, the conversation comes up, what do you do? And Chip always tells them, oh, I own a travel agency. I focus on luxury travel for the busy professional. Well, that's who's at these Southeast God Dog meetings. He has built his business almost exclusively from meeting people through that. And of course, it's something that's important and feeds his soul as well. And it serves our community. So think about how you can get outside of your bubble within your community. And then finally, as far as the bubble is concerned, outside to boost your insides. So get outside. Maybe this is you every single day taking a 20-minute walk. Maybe it's yoga in the morning, yoga in the afternoon, join a gym, a swim class, a tennis lesson. Do something to boost your insides, because I'll tell you, I meet a lot of entrepreneurs, myself included back in the day, that if we don't actually schedule some time for our health, it is the first thing that goes. And we got to get outside. And you know, once you've worked out or you've done something that's active or stretching, your body feels better. When your body feels better, then you react better to any type of stress or trauma that comes your way through clients and obstacles along the way. So get outside that bubble by boosting your insides. Think of your health. These are good. I hope you guys are enjoying them. I know I'm enjoying talking about them. The fourth way is to identify the resources that are right in front of you. And this is something that I think we miss quite a bit. So how about a mentor or a fellow agent? I know within our agent community that people meet each other at some of our TPI events, or maybe they're at a conference together, or maybe they just see each other on our private Facebook groups that we have, and they kind of decide, you know what, we're kind of simpatico, right? Like, I need some help, I'd like some mentorship, and they need some mentorship in different areas, and just become friends with fellow agents. Find one and say, hey, I'd love to have a once a week call. Let's set aside a half an hour or 45 minutes as we wind down for the day, or we start our day together. Cup of coffee in the morning, a glass of wine at night, or vice versa. I don't care, no judge zone here, but find somebody or become part of a mastermind group with other agents. The next is obviously attending conferences, but Sandy and I were just talking about this. Not all conferences are built the same. And before you invest your money, identify the right conference for yourself. But I do believe every single year you need to get out and go to some sort of either travel industry conference or a business building conference for small business owners, and set aside money in your budget to make sure you can make that happen. I think it's really important. Another thing you can do is take advantage of your local BDMs. Heck, develop relationships with them, because actually that means you'll have phone calls with other people that have nothing to do with booking their travel. This is a resource that you can use, and they are a bevy of information and always excited and anxious to connect with agents that are passionate about growing their business and develop those relationships. And then last but not least, my probably favorite thing, I have about a 45-minute drive into the office when I am in the office. By golly, I'm travel all the time. And I listen to podcasts as well as find things on YouTube. TED Talks is a great thing on YouTube. Listen to things that are about business. Don't worry about travel. Listen to things that are about, weight management if you feel like you're gaining too much weight. Find a podcast or a YouTube channel, subscribe to it, and give yourself a chance to kind of utilize that as a resource for you to grow your business or to not feel so lonely, and most importantly, feel more confident. And then fifth tip is to rediscover your strengths. And what I mean by this is you're already a rock star, right? Like you're in this business, whether you've ever booked anything or not, you're in this business. So in my mind, you're a rock star in the making, or you're the rock star making things happen right now. So it's important for you to turn around and rediscover your strengths. Connect with your clients, just picking up the phone and just saying, hey, how are you doing? Don't worry about trying to sell them something, but just touching somebody. I have a habit that I reach out to one of our agents almost every single day, just on Facebook Messenger, and say something like, hey, I'm thinking about you. It's a true statement because I am thinking about him because I found him on Facebook Messenger. Or hey, I'm just letting you know that things are going really good here at TPI. Please don't hesitate to call me if you need anything. Connect with your clients. They like hearing from you, but don't worry about trying to sell them something. Just have that connection. And that'll remind you, because they'll be very happy to hear from you. It'll remind you, well, by golly, I am good at this. The second thing is, I know this is going to seem weird, but find a close friend and ask them, you know what, I need to have a couple of adjectives or a couple of words that helps me through the day when I'm kind of feeling isolated. You know, can you list 2 or 3 things that you like about me? I know it sounds really silly, but if you have a trusted friend, they'll tell you the 2 or 3 things. And you know what you'll find out is they'll probably list 11, 12, 13, 14 things. And then you do the same for them. Sometimes just hearing it from somebody else is all you need. Somebody besides your husband or your wife or your cat, you know, because your cat's going to love you no matter what. But ask a friend. Give advice. This, my friends, is really powerful. At TPI, we have about 6 different private Facebook groups, and they're all kind of segmented. Cruise, people who sell cruises, people who are new to the industry, our top advisors, and then our regular one. I have found that since we've launched those Facebook pages, nothing brings agents more joy than being able to help out another agent. And sometimes it's just with a recommendation of a hotel. Or it might be you've been in the industry for a while and somebody who's new in the industry asks a question like, hey, how do you fire a client? Or, hey guys, what's the best way to position insurance as an option? And you'll find yourself, if you give advice, you'll start reminding yourself about how good you really, really are, what you really do know. And if you're new to the industry, you've got to know one thing more than somebody else, I promise you. And so use those types of forums if you're with a host agency or with an organization that has that, but use those forums for you to be able to give advice to other agents to remind yourself of your strengths and the knowledge that you have, or even within a group that's just about small business owners. Doesn't even have to be about travel. And then finally, celebrate you. Now, for those who have met me, I tell you what, I'm happy just because I get up, right? If I wake up and I've got breath, it's like, all right, let's rock and roll. We've got a big day ahead of us. But I think so many times we forget to celebrate ourselves. So every time you close a sale, give yourself a big high five, do a little dance in the office, get some gold stars and put it on the refrigerator for yourself. Every time you've overcome some sort of obstacle or objection or really tough client or something, again, give yourself a high five and say, you know what, by golly, I am good at this, and celebrate yourself. A lot of our agents set sales goals, and if they reach this particular sales goal, they're going to buy that Toomey backpack that they've always wanted. Celebrate you. Find ways to keep yourself moving forward and going for the big prize, which is you and your happiness within owning your own business. And then finally, my sixth tip is to partner with a host agency. I'm kind of on a little bit of a roll right now with this. As I've been traveling around, I'm meeting a lot of agency owners who've been in the business for a while, and they're not even with a consortia. They're kind of just by themselves, and they're proud of that. Oh, I'm all by myself. I'm independent. I'm like, well, why? Like, I don't understand. Why would you do that? And then there's others that are part of a host that doesn't serve them, and serve them well. So I would say make sure you partner. If you're not with a host agency, it doesn't matter if it's TPI or not. Find a host agency that gets you, that understands that entrepreneurial spirit, that understands the challenges that you go through as an entrepreneur. Make sure every supplier and every connection that you make in your life gets you. They understand that it's tough. It's hard to be working, especially from home, or owning your business if you decide to get a space and do a brick and mortar. It's tough to do what you guys do, but it's so very, very rewarding. And I think it's important that everybody that you partner with totally gets you and understands what you're going through and provides you the resources and the tools necessary for you to be able to just rock it out every single day. And as Sandy told you in the intro, at the end of the day, just kind of like puts their head down at night and says, nailed it today. I nailed it today, and whatever that looks like. So I hope these 6 tips helped you a little bit. It is lonely out there. You're not by yourself, and it does matter that you feel that way. And take advantage of at least one of these ideas, and I guarantee you're going to feel better and more confident just by doing that. So I'm done. That's all. Those are my 6 tips for feeling less lonely and confident.
Oh, those were fabulous as always. Thank you so much, Jen. We're going to take one, our webinar today is going to be just 30 minutes long. We're going to take one very quick question and quick answer and then get to the prize giveaway. And this is a question that I get a lot. You were just talking about joining a host. Jen, what's the difference between a host agency and a consortium?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. So a consortia is kind of like a bigger version of a host, only you have to do all the work. So when you join a consortia, you have to, all your commission levels are set to your commission rate, which you make commissions on, is based on how much you're selling within each one of those suppliers. You're booking under your own IATA number, which means you have to collect and manage every single one of those commissions, which means you have to track it down. And if you have associate agents or employees that work for you, you have to do all that back office accounting. When you work with a host who is partnered with a consortia specifically, because I think all hosts should be with consortias, when you're with a host, you don't have to worry about selling to a certain dollar amount to get the highest level commissions. With the big hosts like a TPI, if you only sold one NCL cruise a year, you're getting the top level commission. If you're only selling one thing from GoGo, you're getting the top level commission. And what happens is most of the time, you're selling multiple types of products. You've got a hotel over here, you've got a car rental over here, you've got a cruise over here, you've got a land package. We gather all those commissions for you as a host, and host agencies then pay you almost like you're an employee. You get a regular, steady paycheck based on your commissions coming in. And we track all that stuff down for you. We consolidate it. Plus, you get direct support from your host, training and resources. With consortias, they're not really there for training. They're there, they provide resources, but they're not really there to train you. Consortias are what really host agencies are. The consortia is kind of the big brother to the host agency, but quite frankly, host agencies are the ones that provide more services on the agent level and the independent agency level than a consortia does. I hope that answers the question. It was kind of a long answer.
No, perfect. That made it very clear to me anyway.
Yeah,
we don't have time for more questions at the moment. If you have more questions, if you think of something after the webinar, Jen has left her email address on the screen, which you should jot down right now. And she will also see the other questions and comments that came in during the webinar. So if you had a question, she will point you in the right direction, or somebody from the TPI team. So, Jen, let's get to the prize giveaway. And what Jen is giving away today is 2 30-minute coaching sessions with her. And who wouldn't want that after we have heard everything she has said in the last 28 minutes? So these are really valuable coaching sessions. And the way we're going to do it is that Jen is going to ask 2 questions, one at a time. And I will take the third correct answer I see on my screen. Please wait for Jen to finish asking her question. And again, I'll take the third correct answer. I'll announce the winner and the answer, and then we'll go on to the second question for the second prize. So, Jen, whenever you're ready, ask your first question.
All right, guys. Question number 1. What's the best way to find co-op space in your area?
Okay. Everybody knew the answer.
Good.
Yeah, everybody's been listening. We have a winner. Our third correct answer was typed in by Amy Davis. So
Hey,
congratulations, Amy.
congratulations.
The correct answer was to Google it, and that's exactly
Mm.
right. So, Amy, we will be passing your contact information along to Jen, and she will get in touch with you about redeeming your 30-minute coaching session.
And
And
Amy, my email is right there. So feel free to shoot me an email right now because I'm going to get off this and I got to go into something else. But that way I've got you in my email. Feel free to email
okay,
me, okay?
perfect. And Jen, go ahead with your second question.
So the second question is what's my number one solution that gives you all that you need? Out of the 6 tips, what was the one that I said was probably the most important that can give you everything you need?
Okay, we have answers coming in. Okay, we have a winner. Let me just write down the name. Uh, Okay, our winner, first of all, the answer is find a good host agency, and the winner is the third correct answer is written by Shelley Sanders. So congratulations,
Oh.
Shelley. You also can jot down an email to Jan, tell her you won the 30-minute coaching session, and she will get back in touch with you. This has been fabulous. I really appreciate it. Our host today has been Travel Planners International, TPI, and our wonderful speaker has been Jenn Lee, Vice President of Sales and Marketing. Thank you so much, Jen.
You're welcome. Thanks, guys. Go make big things happen.
And I'll add my thanks to our agents for being on the call today. We really appreciate that you took time out of your day to join us. So enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.